because we thought it would be a wonderful place to live. I think the kids were initially excited to see the church so well established here. But I think it was more than that. There was a different feeling here in Utah. It's just such a beautiful place.
I'm retired military, but I also participate in the school system. I act as a substitute teacher in both the middle and the high school.
My daughter Candice came as a bright light into my life at a time when I really needed some sunshine.
My name is Candice Metzler. I am a transgender woman, which means that I was born male and transitioned to female.
As a child, Candice was delightful. I remember her exuberance, her love of people. She's always had a very big heart. She's just very into all of what life is about.
I knew at about 8 years of age that I was not really comfortable being male. I identified more female, and I didn't know how to explain that to anyone. I didn't understand that I was transgender, so it was a process from that point on of trying to even educate myself about how to communicate to others what I was feeling inside. Because the messages that I got out of the world around me was that people like that were bad, and that they were sick.
We couldn't figure out why Candice always seemed unable to relax and be with us and be part of the group. It just always seemed like she was holding back.
I tended to fear getting too close to people and having them discover this part of me.
My biggest heartache is that she went so many years with all this going on in the back of her mind. With all my heart, I wish I had been able to foster a climate in which she would have felt she could talk about it. It was okay, that we would love her no matter what.
I wanted to fit in and be normal and follow that path of you're male and you're supposed to be all these things as a male. I would often push myself back into that male role as a way of reinforcing that I could overcome these feelings inside. But I wasn't happy. I knew I had to start really taking transition seriously, that I couldn't just push this away. I was very unhappy. I also began to understand that a lot of transgender people lost everything. And my fear at that point was that I was going to lose my family, that I was going to lose my employment, that I was going to lose my housing. And I didn't want that.
To me, the saddest thing is for a human being to come to this earth and then leave this earth having not experienced their life.
Until I was really somewhat educated as to what the gay community and the transgender community really meant, I didn't have a good flavor for it.
I was praying she'd just turn around and come home. We'd fix it. We could fix this. We could make this work and all that. But it wasn't long after she came back that I began to see her blossom as a person. It was just like this beautiful rose opening up. It was like, oh my gosh, this is who my daughter really is.
And I remember after I transitioned, there came a point where I looked in the mirror and I just broke down and cried because I suddenly realized that that I had arrived. It feels like not being a ghost. People being able to see me for who I am and knowing that at least people will know who the person was that I am.
It's a matter of understanding of where these people are in their lives, why they were born that way. And they were born that way. It's not something they chose to do.
It's really opened me up to the point where I can see society needs to step back and let people decide for themselves who they are, what path they need to take, and allow them their lives, for crying out loud. This is their time as much as it is our time. God knows what's going on, and if any of us are his children, we all are his children. It's time for people to stop in the name of religion or whatever else putting shackles on people and not allowing them to express the uniqueness that they are.
As great as it is to have an amazing supportive family, it's incredibly challenging to live in a state where I can still be fired for just being who I am, that I can still be denied housing, and I have lost employment. I ended up without a job, and I applied for job after job after job, and it became obvious that I could no longer get employed. People were looking at me, and they were looking at my gender rather than my skills. So I spent about a year of being homeless, and I wasn't even able to find the most basic things that everyone needs, and that is to be able to put a roof over my kids' heads, and put food in their mouths, and put clothes on their backs. My success is other people's success. My struggles are other people's struggles. If I can't take care of myself, then I have to rely on others to help me get the most basic things I need. I hope the people of Utah will understand that we're real people with real struggles, that we're just like anybody else. Just like them, I need a place for my family to live. And just like them, I want to be able to feed my children and have success. What I love about the people of Utah is their determination to carve out a better life for themselves. We are a dynamic group of people. We don't always agree. We don't always see eye to eye on issues, but I think at the end of the day that we do show up in other people's lives, and we do try to make differences and make a better community for ourselves. We have that capacity that we can build the kind of communities that we want, that are beneficial to everyone, and that we don't become a society that continues to feel like there are certain kinds of people who get to have the most basic of things. We all need those things.